Hey there, you found Off the Water, the premier kayak fishing show for the Gulf Coast. We interview the best anglers to find out what they did, where they went, and what they used. Fishing reports, cool products and accessories, upcoming kayak tournaments, kayak safety, rigging tips and tricks, sponsor highlights, club member specials, and more, all on Off the Water, live and podcast. And now, here's your host of Off the Water, Mr. Sean Rastanis.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Off the Water. It's me, Sean Rastanis, aka Darth Yacker, and wow, we have so many things coming up here starting this weekend. It's actually going to be statewide with Lafayette Club. We're going to talk about that. They've got their Speck and Redfish Cup coming up this weekend. Then next weekend, obviously, we've got Dawn to Dusk, and then we are 5 weeks away from Offshore Mania, so things are really starting to get going. It's getting hot out there, and lots and lots to cover tonight. We're gonna have a few guests on, and we're gonna talk about some of these things we've got, maybe give y'all some hints, some advice, what's going on right now. Let's do this. We've got a tournament coming up here starting on Saturday. I'm gonna bring Butch Ridgedale along with Lafayette Kayak Fishing Club. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. And it's not too late to register for that tournament. It's a great way to get out there and maybe even do a little scouting for Dawn to Dusk. Also looks to be a great weekend for fishing. Of course, it's not Paddlepalooza weekend, so the weather looks awesome. So let me go ahead and bring Butch on right now, talk to him, and see what's going on.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Butch, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Getting ready for the weekend.
I know. You loaded up and got a plan where you're coming down for Saturday?
Yeah, I've got a game plan. I'm actually going to fish east this week. I'm not going west. I went west last Saturday. Of course, we had high winds, real hard tide. Didn't find what I wanted, so I think I'm going to stick east this weekend.
That's a good idea. So let's just tell everybody out there watching. So this weekend is Lafayette Club's Speck and Redfish Cup. Correct?
Correct. Speck and Redfish Cup. It's going to be a CPR event. Registration through Tourney X. I think it's $35, $40 with a Calcutta. It's a big trout Calcutta.
Okay.
The token, the code was going to come out at 8 o'clock Friday night, but you have until 6 o'clock Friday night to register. And again, it's statewide. Any public place, no private stuff behind gates, out of your camp or anything like that.
Yeah. What's the format?
Launch anytime you want. Lines in at 5:30. Last photo submission at 3 o'clock.
Okay. And what's the format for this tournament, Butch?
2 slot reds under 27, and 2 trout.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Of course, most you can get is 27 3/4. So
26 3/4.
I'm sorry, 26 3/4. Yeah, let everybody try that. That's all right. Help me out a little bit, but 26 3/4, and then a couple of trout, and there you go. It's a nice little event. We've done it before, doing the weigh-in at Pack and Paddle, and the tournament committee and Josh got together, which Josh may not be able to join us in. He messaged me earlier.
Yes.
He had a couple of offers on his house just this afternoon, and people were kind of anxious to talk to him. So he may join us later. I don't know.
Okay.
But, West Cove, a lot of people will be fishing West Cove, Big Lake area. The Lafayette Club's event, you go anywhere you want. Hopedale, Delacroix, Grand Isle. Statewide, anywhere you want. It's wide open. We got a lot of options. I've had good luck on the west. I've only won Speck and Redfish Cup once, and I won it going west. But I've got a feeling I want to fish east this weekend and then concentrate next week going west for Dawn to Dusk.
Well, especially with that flounder being in play for Dawn to Dusk, it's it adds a little bit of a different element to that. Although surprisingly last year, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, the areas that finished in the top 3 shocked the hell out of me as compared to what I figured would have won last year.
Yeah, it was. We had some different weather last year. For pre-fishing was good. As I know, you did really well pre-fishing. Didn't you catch like a 20-inch, 21-inch flounder pre-fishing?
Oh yeah, I did. I mean, in 2 days of fishing over there, I caught 5 flounder.
Yeah.
I wasn't even fishing for flounder at some points. I was trying for trout, and they seem to be very plentiful.
Yeah. Well, all the reports I've seen, the fish are plentiful. Flounder are around. Actually, I found some last Saturday. I went target. I didn't find what I wanted, but I found some flounder last Friday out west. They haven't really.
What about the trout? That's what I was having an issue with last year. Are there trout out there, or what's going on?
I've seen some reports just today from some guys I know at Calcasieu Lake, big lake, and they had some nice fish. Now, they're of course these guides. A lot of them, they'll fish out of big lake, but they'll go out to the jetties, maybe go out some of the shallow, close little platforms and stuff like that. You never know. They're not going to tell you. But I had a friend go Tuesday. All he caught was flounder. He said he saw some birds working about midday, couldn't get on them. But I've talked to other people that have found a few trout. Bruce Ball, they caught some nice fish this week. Of course, they're in a boat. Won't tell them where they're at. Wade fishing, but they caught some. They caught some nice 4-pound fish. So the trout are in Big Lake. It's just finding them.
Okay. Well, you only need one. Well, this weekend you need 2.
Correct.
You need 2. There's certainly though. That's a haul for people from Metairie. They're a lot closer places if you're looking for those 2 trout and 2 redfish. Down there. This is a time of year where they start showing up in Hopedale. They're over there by the dam. You can catch a big trout over there. Not numbers, but certainly big trout.
Good fish.
Grand Isle, Leeville. Now I do hear, I think it's this weekend that Golden Meadows, the launch is going to be closed. Is that correct?
I'm not sure about that.
There was a project going on, and it may be before dawn to dusk or this weekend. I can't remember, but if you're planning on fishing Golden Meadow, you may want to check it out. They're starting to do some construction on that launch over there, and that may be an issue.
I haven't seen anything, but I've got a contact that I can check out just to let some of our guys go. Well, we're going to be down there Friday. I've stopped at the little bait store right there going into Catfish Lake.
Yeah.
By the Shell station. I always stop there and shoot the breeze with those guys. And
Kind
of find out what's going on, stop and drink a cup of coffee with them, spend a couple of bucks, and just, down there, help out the local economy. We all do it. We go down there, just spread the wealth, help them out.
So you're staying down at Grand Isle next weekend?
No, I'm going to stay at my usual haunt, stay at the Galliano Inn.
Okay. It's a nice place.
We got a few of us staying there, and go down Friday morning.
It's a little cheaper right now than staying at Grand Isle. Grand Isle, because of the storm and the location.
Well, I won't say it's any cheaper. You can get a room for one night.
Okay.
You don't have to. Grand Isle, most of the places have a 3-night minimum. I know Bridgeside does.
Okay.
And that kind of, that'll rock you pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, so Chris Landry says that Lafourche Paris Facebook page says the Golden Meadow launch, the closure will be May 15th for 45 days.
Wow.
So that's a pretty big area they're knocking out right there. I see Jack is waiting in the background, ready to come on and show off some hardware from that he managed to stumble across this past weekend or a couple of weekends ago. And we're going to bring him on.
Is he ready? He's not qualified for the championship though yet, right?
I don't think he is. Jack, are you finished eating yet? Are you ready to come on? Okay, he's ready to come on. We're going to bring him on, and we'll have a little 3-way conversation here. Jack, you got something kind of blocking your face. I can't quite make out what you got in front of you there. Is that a second place Paddlepalooza?
Yes. Do you have one?
I don't. I've got a couple thirds, but not a second place yet.
Yeah, well, hold on.
Don't start, Jack. Congratulations, but don't start.
Yeah.
Hey, it don't happen. It don't happen often. So
hey,
let me just
I
say, I
was pulling
should
for you,
have,
buddy. I was pulling for you.
thank you.
I had a 20-inch flounder at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we got rained out, and I never got to really fish the rest. Oh no, what? I got to go catch my trout. I spent 45 minutes. I got my trout within 10, got back in, and then I couldn't fish for redfish the rest of the day.
Well, Jack and I probably left before anyone fishing Paddlepalooza that was staying in Grand Isle got on the road. Got early, and then didn't launch until after Lines End. Is that right, Jack?
That's correct. Our launch location, we didn't feel it was suitable. We drove as far as you can from Bridgeside North, and we didn't find it was suitable. So we kind of, both of us were like, choking and gagging, and made a best call. And I think we both launched in Leeville, but in different areas.
It worked out. You did great. I've had my slam by 9 o'clock.
You did great. Butch, I thought you were right up there, especially with the where'd you end up finishing at, Butch?
Fifth.
Yeah, fifth.
Yeah, top 5.
That ain't nothing wrong with that.
Division.
No, absolutely
Gotta throw that in there.
Absolutely not. You won the seniors division?
Yeah.
Yeah. And fifth place overall is pretty good. Real good, actually. I mean, I didn't see those. I thought we were going to hit with rain once, and then obviously we got hammered. I mean, hail, 40-mile-an-hour winds, water spouts, lightning. It was bad. It was bad. It was very, very much reminiscent of 2019, except in 2019 we got to fish a little bit longer.
Yeah, I got caught. I got caught in both thunderstorms. I got caught in the first one while I was fishing for redfish, and the area I was in holds flounder, but I couldn't fish. I just couldn't fish. So I basically pedaled. It took me almost an hour to pedal out from where I was. It was just unfishable. The weather was too bad. So
yeah,
I licked my wounds and went and launched again.
I picked up and relaunched for the third time to get my redfish, and I started pedaling out. I was 3 or 4 minutes away, and I saw that black cloud coming in the distance. And earlier, it looked like it was trailing over us to the north, and then it just dropped south. So I said, I'm going to give it a second, let it pass through. And I came back to my truck and did the same thing, and it just went south on us. And then I was fortunately in my truck on the side of the road when it started hailing and that wind picked up. And I said, man, I know there's some people that are still out there. And,
I think everybody was making phone calls. Doug called me with his encounter.
Yeah.
I talked to Jack, Josh, a few other folks.
It happened really fast.
It
really, I think Tommy Eubanks or Mark Eubanks had a video of under the camps at Bridgeside, and it's there. You can park like 3 vehicles under there, and even in the center where they were at, it was white out. You couldn't see anything.
Yeah, the wind was blowing so hard, the rain was coming in sideways. There was no getting. You had to get behind something. There was no getting under it.
It was pretty sketchy.
Well,
I think it was worse than 18 or 19 when we had that.
Oh yeah, when 19 we had that. We had a bunch of water spouts, but it lasted for a certain period, and then it was gone. And you could fish before and you could fish after. But when
it was very isolated to that one area, because we were only 4 or 5 miles away. We didn't have any problems.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually in the same spot on Old LA1 for both of those events. Back on the last, the one in 19, and then 2 weeks ago. And
what's funny? It popped up on Facebook memories. It was 4 years to the day. May 6th. So we're going to have to ban Paddlepaloozas on May 6th from here on out. May 4th is fine. May 5th is fine. So
it's just a day. It can happen any day.
Anytime.
Except unless it's May 16th, and it seems to happen every 4 years. Like leap year. Jack,
well, just ban it in 4 years.
Are you fishing the tournament this weekend?
Me?
Yeah.
I have a company crawfish boil Saturday, so they're lucking out.
Yeah. Well, but dawn to dusk, I know you're gonna be fishing that one.
From dawn to dusk.
From dawn to dusk. Yeah. Are you planning on going south, east, west? What do you?
I'm fishing Highway 1. I'm fishing Highway 1 for the duration of the summer, pretty much.
Yeah.
This is my last opportunity really to qualify. So I'm giving it a hard charge to qualify for the championship. And if I don't, to be honest with you, I'm going to start fishing Gulfport a lot because I think I can make some money over there.
Now,
Jack, come fish with us Saturday morning and then just drive down to LA1. You got plenty of time.
You still got
I can't. I have to be somewhere Saturday.
You still got redfish run to qualify?
Dawn to dusk.
Oh, dawn to dusk. I'll be. I will be either in South Lafourche or South Jefferson Parish for dawn to dusk.
So Jack, for Highway 1, you fish there a lot, especially during the summertime. You're out there a lot. Are you basically fishing south of Leeville at that point? Is everything kind of basically down that way, Grand Isle, Fouchon area, or are you still catching?
I find that they have big trout still inside till mid to late June. So I think it's just being at the right place at the right time. But I don't think you can really choose a bad area per se in Leeville or anywhere around Grand Isle. It's just being there when the bite's on and being able to find a big fish.
Yeah. Okay. Now I know there was some big trout.
2 years ago, I caught the big trout for the Massey's tournament.
Yeah.
In June, and I was inside. Really? I was not on the beach. I was far inside.
I know there's been a lot of people fishing Fouchon more and more, it seems, into the marsh and everything. And I know there were some big trout caught, maybe not necessarily the day of the tournament, but pre-fishing Paddlepalooza, there were some really nice trout caught over there. Have either of y'all been able to pre-fish or fish over in the Fouchon area?
There's no fish over there. Don't go there.
Yeah, there's no fish there. You don't need to go there.
Good call. Good call. So for people looking in and then wondering, there is the Lafayette Club tournament this weekend. It's a Speckled Redfish Cup. You can sign up for it on Tourney X. It's a 2 redfish, 2 trout, fish anywhere in the state, legal waters, no private waters. And that's this Saturday. The following weekend is dawn to dusk, and that's Memorial Day weekend. It's a good opportunity. You can actually hit 3 tournaments at once. You've got the Bayou Coast Dawn to Dusk tournament. As always, the Massey's Fish Picks tournament's going on. So it's a good weekend for that. That's the opening weekend of CCA Star Tournament. You can catch a tagged redfish with a boat. They've got big fish categories, for the trout. Now for that, they're still a little older school. You got to go bring in the tag for the redfish, and you've got to bring in the trouts away. For our tournament, it's a CPS tournament is what we call it, catch, photo, submit, because you are allowed to keep your fish if you want. But for those anglers who don't really feel like cleaning fish, or maybe they've got a big trout, something over 20 inches they don't want to keep, all you got to do is put it on the board, take the picture, shoot it off. Yeah. That tournament is, I forget the exact hours, but it's literally from dawn to dusk. I'll have to take a look at the rules. It's on Tourney X as well through Bayou Coast. It'll give you the hours. I think it's like 5:30 or so till like 8 o'clock or something like that. But certainly take a look at the rules for the exact times. The great thing about it is it's not, although you can weigh in 3 fish, it's not a slam format where 3 fish beats a 2 fish. It's the longest combined length of any up to 3 fish. There's no minimum limits. So if you catch a 10-inch trout, you can submit it. 9-inch flounder, you can submit it. Redfish, any length, you can submit it, but it's capped off at 30 inches, meaning if the redfish is 35 inches, you're still only going to get 30 inches. The reason for that is because the length of the approved measuring board is 30 inches, and it's too hard to approve these bull red boards. It's more difficult. No one really makes, a big 45 or 50-inch solid measuring board that can't be easily altered. So that's the reason for that. You can change locations as many times as you want. We had some people that were fishing Grand Isle or fish Lake Charles and up in Grand Isle, or Grand Isle and up in Highway 23 or whatever. The last year was really interesting because I think Danny Compagno won fishing the Hopedale Dam. He caught his red, his trout, and his flounder. He just sat there all day at the dam and caught all 3 of his fish.
He'll probably be there this year too.
He'll probably be there this year too. Yeah, absolutely.
He only came to Grand Isle because he didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
I want to mention, you're talking about locations. I want to mention the first place I launched. I'm hearing something else in my ear. Hold on one second. I'm hearing myself. Hold on one second.
It's his stomach calling him.
All right. All right. The first place I launched, when I pulled up, there were 5 or 6 trucks there. I stood in the back of my truck and I looked around. There was nobody to be seen. So I knew that the areas that I'd fished close to the launch, there was nobody there. Because they cruised through when it was still dark probably, and they were all gone. I got lucky. I caught a big trout. I said, okay, I'm done with this spot because I knew there's a lot of slot redfish around Leeville, but they're either 15, 16, 17 inches or they're bulls. There's nothing up in between up there that I found. So I picked up and I went down Highway 1 and I had about 3 or 4 spots that I knew I could find redfish in. The first spot I came to without anybody parked there, that's where I launched because this is at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. If somebody had launched there, they'd probably still be there. So where I went, I saw a boat. I didn't see any kayaks. I caught a fish. I would have stayed in that area. The weather got too bad. Water got muddy, blah, blah, blah. So when I launched the 3rd time, it's a spot that a lot of people fish, but nobody was there. So I went and launched again. So I don't think it's that important where you fish if you can get by yourself and find some fish. If there's a lot of people around, go the other way. If it's someplace you normally fish and there's 2 or 3 other boats around, leave them in the dust. Just go the other way.
Yeah.
Go find some other fish because there's fish everywhere.
The spot that I wound up going on LA1, I launched, went out to a couple of areas, caught a decent trout, caught a bull, saw another red, couldn't make him eat, caught a small trout. I get the spot I launched where I actually put my kayak in. I picked up my flounder and my redfish right there.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, I mean, on the bank where I launched. That's where I caught.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Barbecue fish.
Right there.
Right. I mean,
had anybody else launch there?
Nope.
There you go.
Again, I'm like you. I like. It's not that I don't like people. I just like fishing by myself, getting away from everybody.
Yeah, I like fishing with people from time to time, but when I tell everybody the same thing. When it's tournament time, you don't have any friends.
Nope.
No, it's true. Especially with Jack. He's not gonna, or Butch, or Steve, Brendan.
I mean, we all talk to each other during the day while we're fishing, but we're not. I mean, we said, yeah, I got this, I got that. You know, one of the things I like about CPR with the leaderboard on is you can look down and see what everybody's got for a certain amount of time. Yeah. And that's going to do 1 or 2 things to you. That's either going to shut you down or turn you on. For me, if I see I'm even close, it just pushes me that much harder. I'm gonna fish twice as hard, and I'm gonna fish till I can't fish anymore.
Right. Yeah. Well, let me. I think I Love Beer just got on. Looks like he's gonna make him let him in and let him talk about. There he is.
Hey, I'm trying to get this to work. Hold on.
You might need
Turn it around 180 degrees. All we can see is the light behind
Yeah,
you.
that light shutting off.
I can't
We don't
hear
need
y'all
this.
for some reason.
That might be a good thing.
I don't know what this is doing.
Do you have a mic on or off button somewhere?
All right.
Can you
Try
hear us
again?
now? Can you hear us
Yeah,
now?
that's better.
Yeah,
that's better.
Yeah, we can hear
Turn
you
your
fine.
computer or turn the light off behind you. You look like baby Jesus back there.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, now you can't see me. Oh, let me go outside.
You're fine.
There you go. Just somewhere where the light's facing you.
Yeah.
Instead of the light behind you, somewhere where the light's facing you.
So, Josh, you're obviously fishing this
Wait. Where's the hat?
Oh, it's in my car.
Yeah.
It's in the car.
Where's the hat?
It doesn't leave the car.
Josh,
Oh, you mean she won't let you bring it in the house?
No, I do have a
So
new one
right.
in the house, though. I might have to break it out soon, though, because the old one's getting pretty bad.
I'm going to get you one that says, I love wine, and then you can wear it around Lafayette all the time. Josh, you're fishing this weekend, right? You're fishing the Speck and Redfish Cup?
Yes, I will be fishing Speck and Redfish Cup.
Now, what direction are you headed?
I am going to be heading in one direction.
Like
north, right?
Yeah, I'm going north. Jack just told you I'm going north.
Well, it was one last year on Toledo Bend, so you never know where.
Yeah, I will be going east this weekend. Most people already know that.
Yeah. Now, are you going to fish dawn to dusk the following weekend?
Yes, I will be fishing dawn to dusk the following weekend.
Will you also be going east the following weekend?
Probably not.
Probably not. That flounder has a.
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see how this weekend goes, but.
If I catch 5 flounder this weekend in Grand Island, Fourchon, I will go back next weekend.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've done it before. I've done it. I did it last year during Trout Challenge. I caught 5 in one spot. Didn't need them for anything.
Yeah, it's crazy. They'll just pile up in one freaking hole, and there you are, and you're like, great. When I don't need you, you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. Well, how many? I know registration closes tomorrow or closes Friday, right?
Closes Friday at 6.
6 o'clock. Okay. And how late can people fish on Saturday?
You can fish till 3.
Till 3. Okay.
And
great.
there's nothing to go to, so there's no weigh-in or anything like that. Very similar to dawn to dusk. So you can fish till. What's that?
If there's no place to go, why can't you fish till dark? What kind of bull is that?
It's a long day to fish till dark.
That's what dawn to dusk is. We'll be doing that next week.
Don't do it, Jack. You're public. Be nice.
It's a long day to fish till dark. I last year for dawn to dusk, I think I fished till about 6, and I was pretty tired.
My plan is we were screwed last year because I'm not mentioning names, but the guy who ran the house said, let's go home Saturday. And we were way out in Lake Charles at Big Lake. I don't know why we wanted to go home Saturday and not Sunday, so we didn't get to fish the dusk. So my plan this year is to go out, catch that early morning bite, fish till about 11 or 12, come in, eat lunch, maybe grab a nap, and then head back out and fish the afternoon bite.
What about that 11 or 12 bite?
Well, I know.
What about that midday bite?
Yeah, that's when the big trout bite.
Yeah.
Last year, I think that's when I caught I was catching flounder at 11, somewhere around there.
I said to like 11 or 12 because it's going to start getting a little warm, I think, potentially. And I'm going to have to get me some lunch. I'll probably be moving locations. I think you
can find one of those cute, fans to match your boat.
Maybe. Well, I did see that the Murphys, in their wisdom, brought umbrellas for Paddlepalooza, and we're in the marsh with the umbrellas up. So hopefully they got some protection. Smarter than a lot of people who did not have the umbrellas. So that was good.
I got out of the weather. I saw it coming. I got out. Unlike some people named Doug Murphy or Doug. Josh, how was that last night? Did he give his spill?
It was good. He just kind of went over what happened to him. Really, he was right there. He launched at Lances and was like 100 yards or so just north of that. And when that hail and wind just all of a sudden went crazy, it got him, and he was stuck from there, and it dumped him right over. He said it took him a couple of seconds to figure out what happened, where he was, orientate himself. And then when he did, he realized he wasn't far from the bank. And, luckily in that area, it's a relatively hard bottom, lots of oyster shells and such around there. So he didn't sink. If you get out and stand up in the mud, you're going to sink down 2 feet. But he said, no, he didn't sink at all. So he was able to get out of the water pretty easily.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, did he has any of his stuff been retrieved? Did anybody find any of his poles or anything like that?
I don't even know if anybody.
He said as of last night, no. And he said he was going to go down there this weekend and see if he could drag to at least maybe retrieve a couple of the rods. Even if I'm sure by now the reels won't be good, but
he doesn't seem like a guy that uses cheap rods to me.
No, he said that was probably about $3,000 or so in gear that he lost.
Butch, have you offered your?
What did he have in the bag?
Like one trout. So he didn't even, it wasn't like he was 2 weeks prior where he had, winning fish. He said he had like one trout and it wasn't very big.
That sucks, but
he was doomed.
Yeah. I mean, Grand Isle giveth, Grand Isle taketh away.
I tried to warn as many people as I could.
Yeah.
Because I was coming south. I was coming south, and that hail hit me, and that wind. I was in my car when it hit, and I know it was pretty bad.
Did you see all the fire trucks in Leeville?
Yeah, I was on the toll bridge, and they came the opposite way I did. Ambulance, police car, and I think 2 fire trucks went flying back the other way.
The same water spout that hit Doug flipped a shrimp boat at the intersection. And
it wasn't far from where he flipped.
No, that's 400 or 500 yards away.
Yeah.
Very close.
So
ride the wave, baby.
So for this weekend, real quick, if y'all haven't gotten a copy of the Martian Bayou magazine for May, it is out now. We've got a really good article on fishing Lake Pontchartrain, which is another great area to fish. I mean, they catch a lot of flounder and some big trout along those trestles. It's close by.
And big redfish.
Big redfish. Yeah. I mean, you can take a look. We've got some great pictures. Me and Jack went out there a few weeks ago. And we had a really good time. We got some real nice trout.
Hey, how come I didn't get credit for the photography?
You should.
I don't.
You should. So I'll tell you what. I'll read a little excerpt from the magazine.
Oh, I know what.
Here we go.
So, me and Jack were out fishing. When I pulled up, Jack shook his head. Water looks dirty. I've been trying to convince him that we should launch to the North Shore, and he finally seemed convinced. All right, he says, let's go north. So 5 minutes later, we pull up on the foot of the Highway 11 bridge in Slidell. I watched Jack scramble over some rocks to the water's edge. He was surprisingly agile considering his advanced age. Looks a little better, but still dirty. We're here, I replied, let's fish. So that's just a little preview of what you have in store for the May 2023 article. But seriously, we've got if you've ever wanted to learn how to troll the causeway, it tells you what you need to get, how to rig it, where to go to get this stuff. It's a really effective way. I can tell you that sitting here for Trout Challenge, I think for the top 6, or maybe I think it may have been 6 of the top 8 anglers all fish Lake Pontchartrain and the bridges. Now, Steve won first fishing, and he caught it jigging, a combination of jigging and trolling. Butch, you were in the top 5. I forget exactly where you fished for Trout Challenge, but I know you were up there as well. The other 2 spots came from Pips and
Aaron Clay was right there.
Aaron Clay.
Aaron and Steve finished first, third, and fourth, and we were all within 100 yards from each other.
Right. And I finished in 6th, one spot the money. I was there, same spot. Jonathan was out there. Ty Hibbs was out there. We were all just fishing the South Shore, launching the same spot, fishing the same area, and a little different methods. Some people jigging, some people trolling. So, it's a really effective way this time of year. There are still trout out there. I still see Chaz catching fish. I'll probably be there for a little while. So there's definitely the opportunity to get out there and catch some fish.
It's a good option.
It is a good option.
It's a good option for this weekend, for sure.
For this weekend, for dawn to dusk, they've got some big reds, along those bridges too. Those big bull reds will hang out there, and so that's definitely an option. So still plenty of time to sign up for the Speckled Redfish Cup this weekend. Got till next Friday to sign up for dawn to dusk, and then of course in 5 weeks from now we're all heading down. I don't know if you all are, but we are heading down to Navarre Beach, Florida for Offshore Mania. Registration is now up for that, and I just want to cover some of the rules. Are any of you guys going to fish that?
More than likely, I'm going to miss it this year.
I don't understand that at all. Jack, especially you, I'm very disappointed in you. Josh has probably got a good reason. Butch,
it's my birthday weekend. I'm going to Grand Isle.
No,
I don't want to go to Florida.
Jack's going to be fishing in Grand Isle for like 5 days straight.
I know, but Navarre.
Bingo.
Baby. Navarre.
Who gives a shit about Navarre?
I do. It's going to be awesome.
I've been offshore plenty times. And you know what? I'm good.
Look,
got the T-shirt, been there, done
it
that.
Sounds like fun, and y'all are gonna have a great time. It's just not my thing.
Watch out for those big tiger sharks. Y'all saw that video this week?
We don't have tiger
Hey,
sharks.
isn't that one you caught on the Snoopy pole and filleted that day? Wasn't that the same fish, Butch?
So for those people who will be fishing Navarre, June 24th, 25th, just the rules are up. Registration's online. Now that one is not Turning X. It's Bayou Coast. And we're going to do a whole couple seminars on that. We're going to have some people coming on to give you tips about launching, getting back in, what kind of gear you need to bring. I talked to Aaron Clay this morning for a while. One provision in there was normally how we have that you can launch and stage in the immediate vicinity. He talked to me about that. And what I was telling him was, look, we're going to have a lot of people out there that's going to be new. And I want some of these more experienced guys who are there who can help them get in the kayak to launch, and then still be for these people to be able to kind of stage just past the breakers. Because once you're past the breakers, you're fine. It's just getting that first part, unless it's just glass smooth, which sometimes it is at 5:30 in the morning. But it's going to be a great time. It's 100-person capped for registration. So if you want to fish it, you need to sign up ASAP. I know we're over 10 today signing up already. It's probably going to sell out, I think. Don't know yet. It's our first offshore, but a lot of the Florida people don't know registration's up yet. Trying to give our members a chance to sign up first, but that will go up this week. Prizes for big snapper. There are prizes for big fish other than snapper, Calcuttas. Also, we've got a new sponsor for that tournament only, Half Hitch, which is a tackle shop right there located in Navarre, has generously donated 2 pin 6,500 Spin Fisher rod reel combos. Those combos are $300 to $350 a piece. Yeah, so those are real nice, plus a tackle package for offshore fishing that we're going to be giving away at the tournament. there's it's a great opportunity. Personally, I don't like going offshore by myself or even with one person. This is the type of tournament where I feel more comfortable being around a bunch of other people. It's a shotgun launch. The reefs are public numbers, and talking to people. When you fish a reef, you're going to have maybe 2 or 3 people fishing it with you, because these are big reef structures. There's a lot of fish on them. It's not going to be a situation where you're fishing a point for a trout or redfish and someone's coming up and crowding you. A lot of people are going to be fishing in groups together, which is great for safety reasons. We've got the pavilion rented out there in Navarre. We're working with the local lifeguards and fire rescue to have a lifeguard on duty for just us, our tournament, with a jet ski, to be able to come out and patrol and make sure everybody's doing well. This is going to be.
What are you going to be cooking at the tournament?
We're working on that right now, Jack. That's a really good question. We're working on that. I'm working with the officers. They seem to be really highly motivated and very generous to want to really put together a package and maybe give some free food to everyone participating. It's kind of a goodwill gesture for us coming down and setting up this tournament and recruiting some fresh blood into Bayou Coast.
I will say it's a great thing. I know you've had a lot of people from Florida kind of start talking to you about it. So it's a great thing to bring Bayou Coast to Florida.
Well, and what I'm excited to see is I've had 10 new friend requests since we started announcing the tournament on some of those Facebook groups in the last week. And what I'm excited to see is going over there for people who don't know who Bayou Coast is, and hopefully seeing these people come back to Louisiana to fish Fall and Tide, Paddlepalooza, some of those tournaments because really Navarre is not that far,
Just the nice ones.
Yeah.
Just the nice ones.
Just the nice ones, right. We've got some people already, Benton and Brandon Barton and Matthew Van that come down, and Benny Gaines. A lot of those guys from Alabama are coming down, Steve Roberts, and hopefully they'll see what we're about. I'm really hoping we pull this off, it works out well, and that we can go back next year, because I'm just really looking forward to a little something different, new waters, beaches. Some people are bringing their families down there. They're going to take a little family vacation for the week and see what comes of it. But for other people, this is a great opportunity to come out. Even if you don't win the tournament, you get to go out and catch red snapper and bring them home. It is the second weekend of snapper season in Florida. It starts the weekend before. So those reefs should still be loaded with fish. I know a couple of guys that went up there 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they just, caught like 11 snapper, just bottom fish. And couldn't keep them, obviously. But there's so many other fish out there you can catch too. In addition to red snapper, you've got 7 or 8 different kinds of snapper that you can catch off those reefs: lanes, mangroves, yellowtail, I think. There's grouper that are in season. Not gag, but there's about 4 or 5 different types of grouper. Cobia, mahi, which are dolphin fish.
Are y'all going to have any kind of fish identification charts available?
Yes, I am actually going to print out some copies. And I'm going to key them out. I'm also working on getting somebody out there who can identify all the different species. Why
don't you get them laminated and just included in the registration?
Yeah. I think maybe I can talk to the board about that and see if they'll.
No, I mean, if you include it in the registration, because there's so many. Look, I've been offshore fishing.
Yeah.
You catch a fish, you have no idea what it is. You might know it's a snapper, but you don't know what species, and especially grouper. You catch a grouper, you have to. Yeah, you can get in a lot of trouble for bringing home the wrong grouper.
You can, and obviously, and there's some other requirements. Before I forget, I did want to mention to everybody, there is a website that y'all are going to want to check out. Jonathan Carter turned me on to this, and it's called Release 'em Right. It's spelled Release MEM Right, RIGHT. And what it is it's Florida state law now requires that when fish suffer basically, from pressure when you bring them up and their eyes are bulging, their stomachs out. You have to either use a descending device, which is basically like a heavy weight to drop them back down, or you've got to vent them. All right. Now, in state waters, in the depths we're fishing, you're not going to have that scenario come up very often. However, Florida law now requires that you have a venting tool on board and a dehooker. It's basically a venting tool. It looks like an ice pick. You cannot use an ice pick, but it looks like an ice pick. If you go on this site called releaseemright.org, you can go through it. It's a 15-minute video. It's very educational. It shows you what type of issues the fish may be suffering. It shows you how to properly descend them and vent them. More importantly, if you complete the video, they send you $100 worth of free gear to use for descending fish or venting fish down there. And you're required to carry that stuff, at least the venting tool, on board with you. So that is something that you can certainly do for free and get it in. I hear it takes about 2 or 3 weeks to get in. So I went ahead and did it this week. Here is Chris Landry. Turned me on to this one. My FWC, which is FloridaWildlifeCommission.com. It shows you all the different saltwater species with pictures. So you can, what I'm going to plan on doing is printing it out and laminating it so I have a quick reference guide. Certainly, most of the people are going to be catching red snapper, but there's mangroves out there, again, lane snapper, vermilion snapper. You're going to want to know what they are. The thing, the other thing I hear, I've heard that they've caught 2 sailfish already off the pier in Navarre. So the sailfish are out there. When you're out there trolling or even bottom fishing, you never know if you're going to hook up with a sailfish. Now, that's not one that you're going to be able to submit for the weigh-in, but who cares? I mean, if you can catch a sailfish in a kayak, that's certainly a bucket list type fish that everybody would have a blast catching, So you never know what you're going to hook up out there. They catch wahoo out there, blackfin tuna. Now, it may be a little bit warm for the tuna, but they still come in sometimes. So there's a possibility of catching a blackfin tuna out there as well. So registration's up. I would get signed up as soon as possible. City of Navarre is providing us with some welcome bags. So the first 50 people that sign up will get a welcome bag with some goodies in there. And the club may be able to throw in a few goodies as well. And certainly we are really looking forward to that. I know I am. Just for getting out there, meeting new people, and spending a week in Florida with everybody. So in the meantime, get signed up for Speck and Redfish Cup. Get signed up for Dawn to Dusk. Still plenty of time for both of those. Well, except for Speck and Redfish Cup, you got till Friday. But it looks like we're really going to have some good fishing coming up. Lots of money to be won. Lots of fish. Don't forget star tournaments coming up. And don't forget Massey's with those big flounder and bull reds that start showing up this time of year that you seem to hook on to and win some really nice stuff from Massey's Outfitters. So, Jack Butch, have anything else to throw at us?
Well, if anybody had, the areas in Big Lake, a couple of things. I know a lot of people are going to be coming this way. A couple of things to be concerned about. Hog Island and West Cove, those 2 launches are they're open. I haven't looked at the tides this far out yet, but if you're seeing a real big tide change that day, I don't know what we're going to have, but if we got a huge rise or drop, pay attention to it, because both of those cuts coming in from the lake, it can be, especially Hog Alley. I mean, that current can really rip through there.
It can be Pointe-a-Shenish.
Yes, it can be very Pointe-a-Shenish, but a much narrow one. Watch the winds, east winds. You get an east wind, you don't want to fish West Cove. I mean, it's not good for it, especially a strong east wind. On the east side, you can launch at Calcasieu Point, Fred's, Abears. Now, being that, Abears is a boat launch, there's a lot of guides that go out there, a lot of recreational fishermen. But since we can launch anytime we want for dawn to dusk, get there early, get out of the way, go. You got all day to do it. There's plenty of parking. There is a box there, or the person may be out there. The owners, they're usually out really, really early. But that's another option to fish. It's anybody's game if they go to Big Lake. I mean, you can catch all 3 anywhere, especially bull reds. I mean, you can catch a bull anywhere in Big Lake. I mean, there's schools up all over the place. And that is about all I've got for that. But again, it wasn't one there last year. There was a lot of good fish caught.
Yeah, there were a lot of good fish caught. And man, if you like catching flounder, I mean, it really just blows any other place away in the state of Louisiana, in my opinion. As far as flounder are concerned, they just
when they're on, yes,
over there.
It's really good when they want to play, when they want to bite. I mean, you can catch them over there.
You can catch them over there. So, well, that's great. Well, guys, we're going to be back on here maybe next week or the week after. We've got we're going to be doing some really good seminars here on offshore fishing for you guys that want to get out there. Jack, Butch, Josh, I appreciate y'all coming on and joining us tonight. Hopefully y'all can get out there for Speck and Redfish Cup. If not, hopefully we'll see you out there for Dawn and Dusk next weekend, which again, that's going to be a statewide tournament, morning till night, essentially. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to, we had a really good turnout last year. Over 75 people, I think, showed up for that tournament. We've got 22 signed up right now, and that's going to double, triple, I think, by the time the next week comes around. We get a lot of people that register late. Don't wait to register on Offshore Mania, though. Once the Florida groups get hold of that, they're going to sign up. That thing's going to sell out, and if you made plans, you're not going to be able to fish it. So I really advise signing up as soon as possible. It's been posted on the Bayou Coast Cup page. If you can't find registration, text me or any of the officers. They can turn you on to it. It is also on the Bayou Coast website, bayoucoast.com, under events, Offshore Mania. Get signed up for that. And with that being said, we're wrapping it up. Just under an hour tonight. So we'll see y'all in the next week or two. Good luck to everyone fishing this weekend. I wish I could make it, but I've got some other things going on. I will definitely be out there for Dawn to Dusk. Really looking forward to that tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun as always. All right, guys. Be careful out there, and we will see y'all soon.